Hey everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here again. Today, going to show you guys how to play Since You've Been Gone by Ritchie, Blackmore, and Rainbow, a track from the band's 1979 album Down to Earth, their one and only album to feature the towering vocals of one Mr. Graham Bonnet. He of the sunglasses, short hair, and smart casual stage attire. A look that was obviously quite uncommon for a 70s era rock frontman, and an issue that created no small amount of friction between him and Rainbow founder Ritchie Blackmore. An issue that possibly, but not certainly, led to his ouster from the band shortly thereafter. Regardless, he had and still has in his mid-70s just an incredibly powerful voice. This is a cover, by the way, if you didn't know that already, of a much more piano-driven affair by a fellow British singer-songwriter named Russ Ballard from about 3 years previous in 1976. It is not an original Ritchie Blackmore composition. However, he did make it a much more guitar-driven track and pretty much own this track, as few then and even now know that it was actually a cover. Anyway, enough said. Let's close in, learn how to play it, shall we? Alright then, Ritchie Blackmore, Rainbow, and Since You've Been Gone. We are in standard tuning for this tutorial. This one has a pretty easy opening riff. Goes something like this. Right, just power chords, 4 power chords, G, 3-finger power chords, G, D, E, and C, right, with this kind of rhythm. G, 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 D, D, E, 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 C, C, G, 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 D, E, C, 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 D, D, right, that's pretty much the rhythm right there. Ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da, bum, 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 ba-da-da-da, and then you repeat. However, after the second repeat, right, you're just going to hang on that C twice, and then slide it into D, leading into the first verse, right? Now, the first verse is a lot of arpeggiated chords, and it can be a little bit tricky to play. It goes something like this. So we're starting with a G chord here, and we're just going to arpeggiate the bottom 4 strings down to the G string, right? Then we're going to drop into D, but we're going to have this F sharp in the bass with our thumb over the top of the fretboard. And then you're going to grab the D string, G string, skip over the B string, and then catch the high E on the upstroke. Right? Then we're off to E minor. So you're just going to arpeggiate the bottom 4 strings again, down to D sus2, which is like a D but with our middle finger off the 2nd fret of the high E, freeing up the high E string. So those are the first 4 chords. G, D, E minor, D sus2, then we're into C. Just going to arpeggiate the 4 middle strings, drop off to G, just on the 4 middle strings, right? So you don't need your finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string here. So you're just on the 2nd fret of the A, open D, open G, open B, coming off that C, right? Off to an A sus2, which is like an A minor, but with your index off the 1st fret of the B string, and then down to D sus2 again. Right, so those are the chords. And you're going to repeat that twice for the verse. And leading into the chorus, we have the pre-chorus. D sharp power chord here, 6th fret position. Just strike that and choke it off. Then we're into this. So we're going to grab the 3rd fret of the A string, slide it into 8, down to 7 of the D, 8 back off to 6 of the A, right, finishing with this. 3-1 open of the A, 3-4-5, right, so that's the pre-chorus. Power chord, D sharp, ba-da-da, And then we're back into the main riff for the chorus. And then we're into the second verse, right? Same as the first. And you're going to repeat that twice again. Into another pre-chorus, D sharp power chord, that little lick. Right? 3, 1 open, 3, 4, 5. Main riff again. Repeat that twice, and then we drop into the bridge. And the bridge is just this short little melody line that he's playing, goes something like this. Right, we're going 4, 5, 7 of the G, pedaling each time off the 5 of the D. And when you go into 7, you're going to kind of slide into it from the 5. And then you're going to pedal back to that 5 of the D one final time, and then back onto the 7 for a full step bend. And then you're going to play that. So after the bend, you release it back to the natural note, do a little trill between 5 and 7, back it up to 4. Right, and then you're going to go 4, 5, and then another little trill, this time between 4 and 5. Back it up to 2, and then off to open. And then into a full step bend on the 6th fret of the B string. So that is that little melody line. Right? Then we're going to repeat it, but we're going to repeat it an octave higher. Right here at the 12th fret position. 12 of the B, 13, 15, pedaling off the 12 of the G. And then you're going to play the exact same thing with the same little trills, right? And then you back it up to 10, back it up to 8, right? And then the bend this time is on the 13 of the high E string. And then we drop back into the final chorus, kick started with a couple of D power chords, da-da-da, da-da, right? And then we're back into the main riff again for the final chorus. However, we're shifting keys. We're going to jump everything up to A from G, right? So just take your main riff, move everything up 2 frets. However, at this point, there's a little variation, right? We're going to do this. We're going to start the riff the same way. However, when we get up to this F sharp here, we're going to back it up to F. Right? And we're going to repeat that. And then finish the chorus with this. Just a couple of A's, a couple of E's, and then back to A again. Right? And that's pretty much the end of the track right there. There's a short little outro solo in A major where he's just playing some little basic blues licks, right? You know, we're not really going to get into that. It's kind of incidental. It's a little bit buried in the mix. Not the most iconic of Ritchie Blackmore solos. So we're not going to really get into that solo, the outro solo to this one. It's very short. It's like 15, 20 seconds long. And that is how you play Since You've Been Gone by Ritchie Blackmore and Rainbow. Certainly hope you enjoyed the tutorial, found it helpful. And if you did, please hit that like button right down there. Maybe drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind and helpful to the growth of my little channel. Hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may find you these days, and we will see you next time. Cheers.